Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here playing some more Warhammer combat cards. This week the Tau are getting some powerful new reinforcements. You can see here in the campaign tab for the mission rewards. We've got the new XV9 battlesuit. It's a pretty strong bodyguard. It gets +9 stats per upgrade. Its trait is shield. You can see at level 4 it has some pretty good firepower, 52 ranged attack. And if you look at the back of the card, it has 54 initiative. It can fly, so it is very fast. Definitely a strong addition to the Tau roster. But more importantly, we have a new Warlord for the Tau. This is Warlord number 5, which actually brings the total number of Warlords in the game to 40. Every single faction now has the same number of Warlords, 5. And I remember when I first started playing, I think Space Marines had the most Warlords with 4, and every other faction had just either 2 or 3 Warlords. So the game has come a long way since those times. Now looking at this new Tau Warlord, it is SHAS'O ALAI, and he is pretty strong by the looks of it. So you can see at level 1, those are his stats, and he gets plus 15 stats per upgrade. He also has shield for his trait. He's bulky, so he has kind of slightly lower initiative. But his special rule is a block of text, and it looks a little complicated, but it is pretty simple. Basically, your forces go through 3 different phases on each turn. It activates at the beginning of your turn, and so on your first turn, your units will be at full power, increasing the ranged attacks by 20%. On the next turn, they'll switch over to overdrive, increasing the ranged attacks up to 40%, and then on the third turn, their ranged attack power will go back down to 0% boost, and instead their defense systems will come online, reducing incoming damage by 20%. So it should be pretty simple to use. Of course, you can combo with many traits that Tau have that can increase their firepower to boost up your unit's ranged attack to pretty incredible amounts. So this is the setup I am going with. I'm not actually using any of the really big bodyguards. Now the biggest thing in here is the Sunshark Bomber, but I've included a lot of cards with ranged buffs, which can be done through the Scout trait. So we've got this Pathfinder, we've got the Piranha, the Stingwing, and the Ghostkill Battlesuit. All 4 of those cards have Scout, and then I've got 2 Outflankers as well, the Cold Star Battlesuit and the Razor Shark Strike Fighter, and then finally we just got the Shield Drone thrown in there. So let's go ahead and deploy. Now, I haven't really been playing Tau recently, so I think we're probably just going to steamroll whatever we're up against pretty easily, but hopefully we'll be able to see all 3 of the phases from ALAI's special rule. Alright, sounds like we are up against the Space Marines, and they are led by Grand Master Voldus with 5 bodyguards. And we do have the superior initiative, so we take in the first turn. Grand Master Voldus is at level 4. Let's start off with, I'll just go with a Pathfinder. Get the boost from the Scout. And they've got a Scout of their own. Not sure why they have a ranged Scout in a Voldus deck, but they're about to get debuffed by the Cold Star Battlesuit, the Outflank. And we'll see what other kind of bodyguards they're running. Okay, Psychers makes sense with Voldus. Let's see, I think we'll go with, I guess we're going with a double Scout then. The Piranha in the center lane. I'm not sure if it's going to have enough attack to take these guys out. Castellan Crow deploying on the right side with Inspiring Presence. And they got the Warp Surge from the Librarian there, dealing 32 damage. And you can see right there, the animation looks very nice. ALAI special rule. You can see the icons there on the card also glowing blue to indicate they are at full power, dealing an additional 20% ranged damage. So actually, that does a whole lot of damage. And it's too bad the Cold Star Battlesuit wasn't on the opposite side, but still were able to take out 2 of their bodyguards easily. And that little Pathfinder dealing 65 damage on the first turn. Not bad for a 6-point card. Alright, they've got now Stormcaller coming to the field, and they're going to be getting a pretty big psychic boost here. Tigurius also deploying. Castellan Crow is now dealing over 60 damage, and they got a Psionic Blast as well. So it's going to be a pretty painful turn here, destroying 2 of my bodyguards. Now, one thing to note about Rely here is that, and it's not actually going to apply here because it was the opponent's turn, but if something is destroyed, when you deploy another card, like so, it doesn't actually immediately benefit from Relay's special rule. So this Strike Fighter here is not getting any boost until the beginning of my next turn. So we should be able to see it get the boost here. When we switch to the second phase, which is Overdrive. So there, we're now getting a 40% boost to our attack power, and that's quite a bit of damage. Again, I kind of misdeployed that. If I put the Ghost Gilbasu in the center lane, I could have taken out 2 of their bodyguards. Tigris eating the 127 damage from the Cold Star with the shield. Now Stormcaller does survive, and now Grandmaster Voldus will deploy to the field, but that will allow us to see the final phase of SHAS'O Rely special rule on our next turn. Currently, we're still benefiting from the Overdrive, so if they were to go ranged attack on their turn, we'd still be dealing additional damage. So that makes this Warlord very good, in particular, against ranged attacks. Now we have switched to the final phase, so we're in recovery mode, which is reducing incoming damage by 20%. So we'll just see it a little bit here in action. We're going to take down Meow Stormcaller on the right side, and 24 damage from Voldus is going to get reduced by a little bit here. So down to 20 damage. And on their turn as well, when they go for their next psychic attack, that's also going to, of course, be reduced by 20%. Cold Star Balso still goes down, but that 42 damage getting reduced to 34. And on our next turn, we can now benefit once again from full power. So let's go with, we'll just put the Sun Shark Bomber in the left lane. And didn't get any boost from Scout or anything, but we're still getting the 20% increased damage for a total of 221 attack. Gonna be hitting him with the Barrage here, and then finishing off Voldus with some pretty strong ranged attacks. So you're able to see the full cycle in action there over the course of 4 turns. And I really like the look of the special rule. It's pretty fun, and unlike the other Tower Warlords, it actually gives you an immediate boost to your damage output. If we look at the Warlords here, Anva, you do have to kind of wait for the enemy to attack you before you start getting the increased damage boost, and of course it's useless against psychic attacks. That's his major downfall. Darkstrider does have the ability to deal a lot of extra damage with additional attacks, but of course you have to wait until your bodyguards get destroyed before you can make those attacks. And then with Shadow Sun and Commander Farsight, of course, their special rule does not activate until the final card deploys in the game, so for the most of the game, they're not really getting any sort of extra support for the bodyguards. But SHAS'O Rely, on the other hand, you're getting immediate value from his special rule from turn 1, and it is just a lot of fun. So if you want to hit him hard and fast, this guy is the way to go, and he's going to be a pretty strong Warlord, I think, for beginner players as well. He's a bit on the expensive side at 40 points, but definitely a solid Warlord, and I'm glad to see him in the game. Let me know what you think of this new Warlord. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.